Hello, my love. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Tatiana Sonjalia. I'm a healer and I help people transform their lives. Before I get into this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already and click that bell notification because I don't want you to miss no videos. None. I don't even know how to get into this, but this was heavy on my mind and I know someone needs to hear this. I don't know who. Maybe it's just me, but we are the only ones capable of helping ourselves. Seriously, we are the only ones who can transform our lives, transform our minds, transform our bodies. I don't know. It's easier said than done. And I've been in those spaces where I have been unhappy for whatever reason. And I've only been able to focus on the problem. But the people around me who are hearing me vent about this situation are just reminding me of the solutions. And in those moments when people from the outside want to offer you help and support by giving you solutions to your problem, what they don't realize and what you might not realize as well is that you're not ready to hear the solution. When you're venting about a situation that makes you unhappy, 9 times out of 10, you're not looking for a solution. By constantly talking about or even complaining about something that makes you unhappy, you're literally just looking to talk about it, to talk about the problem, to think about the problem, to make it real. And this might not be in your awareness that you're doing this. It wasn't in my awareness. But sometimes when we're venting and we're looking to just talk about the problem, when people offer us a solution, we are not willing to take it or hear it or use it because in that moment we weren't looking for a solution. We were just looking to sit in the problem with someone else, to not feel alone in that problem. And sometimes that can be an issue. I understand that there's times when you want to vent about your problems and that makes you feel right. That makes you feel better, right? But if we uncover the layers to that, why is that making you feel better? Because you're not fixing the problem and you're not coming up with a solution with this person. No, venting to someone about your problem makes you feel better because now, instead of you feeling alone in this problem, now you have company, right? And there's actually that saying, misery loves company. And it's true. It is 100% true. When I was a kid, I did not understand what that meant, but that is one of the most true statements ever. When people are unhappy or miserable, and that sounds so harsh, so I don't even want to say it, but when a person's unhappy and they want to vent to you about it, if they're not looking for a solution, then that means that they're just looking to have company, to have the feeling of not feeling alone within this problem, to share this problem with you. And subconsciously, that almost feels like they're putting their load on you, which makes them feel like the load is less heavy on them. And this is not because they want to hurt you, or I don't think if you are the person venting, I don't think you want to hurt the people you love that you vent to about. But just realize that you're not being aware that when you share your problems with others and you just want them to listen because it makes you feel better, it takes a load off of you, of your stress and your worry, you're putting it on them. Literally, imagine if you had a bunch of bags and all those bags were super, super heavy. You see someone that you know and love, and you're like, you know what? Here, take some of these bags and hold on to them for me. You're literally doing that with your problems. You're giving that weight to the person that you love. I've been in both situations where I've vented to someone not seeking a solution, just seeking for them to take off a load of my worries and stress by me putting it on them. And I've also been in the situation where I've been the person vented to and feeling this person put their weight on me, putting their problems on me in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. And that weighs me down. And a lot of times I've picked up the bags for them and I've carried them even though I didn't want to, or it doesn't feel good. But I've done it because I thought, oh, I'm helping them. But now what I realize is I am not helping anyone by just allowing them to reconfirm their problem. And I know that sometimes people don't want a solution, right? Because sometimes if you offer a solution to someone, it almost aggravates them to hear that you came up with a completely logical, possible solution for them. And sometimes we'll get the person that's like, oh, this is my problem. And then you're like, well, here's the solution. And then they go, but I can't do that because blah, blah, blah. Or that's not going to work because blah, blah, blah. Or I can't because blah, blah, blah. So those words just clearly identify that that person does not want a solution. That person just wants to feel better in that moment. And what that will essentially do is put their burden on you and not solve their problem. I understand, there's a time and a place for us to sit in our problems and dwell on them and feel them and validate them. But then there's a time where we need to break away from that and actually get up and do something about it. You are literally the only person that can transform your life. I hope you know that. For me, I just realized this 5 years ago, or maybe 4, or maybe just yesterday. But I cannot rely on anybody for happiness. We cannot rely on anybody to change our lives, solve our problems, fix our pains, heal our trauma. We can't rely on anybody to do that because nobody can do that for us. Sure, you can pay a psychiatrist. Sure, you can pay a trainer. But isn't it you who has to actually work out in order to lose weight? Isn't it you who actually has to put in those practices in order to be emotionally stable and confident? By you sitting in a problem and not trying to solve it, you are essentially telling yourself you are not worthy of being happy. So many people try to make excuses that, oh, the solution is going to be too hard. The solution is going to take too long. The solution this, the solution that. Don't you realize you're making excuses of why you should not be happy, of why you do not deserve to go through that solution, no matter how long it takes, no matter how much resources and time it takes for you to be happy. Why do you think you don't deserve that? Why do you think you are not worth your full investment of your own energy? It's not like you're asking people to give you their energy to solve this problem. You got to tell yourself that you are worthy of your own effort to make yourself happy. I know you can think of a time where you solved a problem. You got out of a problem because you wanted to be happy and you did it. And when you think about it, don't you feel so proud? And when you think about it, don't you feel like, wow, I didn't know what I was doing, but I did it. Wow, before I took those steps forward in the solution, that problem felt so big. That problem felt like the end of the world, the end of my life. And now you see that you went through it and you found your solution. And every time we have a problem in our life, we are meant to go through it so that we can get value and have a solution, because life is going to continue giving us problems to solve. That's why we have brains. If God didn't want us to problem solve, He would have just left us with intuitive spirit in our heart. He wouldn't have given us this brain to have logic, to see patterns, to see solutions, to learn. We have this brain for a reason, and it's because we are problem-solving creatures. And when we see an obstacle, we learn what to do with it. Think about a baby. A baby starts off crawling, right? And once it's time for that baby to get up and start walking, it's not easy. You see the baby falling and bumping into things and losing their balance and hitting their head maybe and banging into things and breaking stuff. But think about it. If that baby got up the first time to walk and fell and thought, oh, I fell, I must not be good at this whole walking thing. This might not be for me. That baby will never walk. That baby is going to crawl for the rest of their life, and they're going to become a crawling adult. Imagine that. And another thing that I'm thinking about is, imagine if that baby didn't get back up. That baby would limit the rest of their life to the floor. And our problems are just like that. Our problems are exactly like that. If we don't get up, even though it's hard, even though we're wobbly and we lose our balance, if we don't get up, we're never going to walk. We are never going to walk. And what can even be worse is if you have a parent who sees their baby trying to walk, and instead of allowing their baby to learn how to maintain balance, to learn to put one foot in front of the other, imagine if that parent held on to the baby the whole time they were trying to learn how to walk. What great injustice that parent would be doing to their child. That child would never feel as though they accomplished this on their own, as if they need assistance to do the things that they want to do, as if they could not have done it alone. But that's exactly what a baby's first steps are supposed to be. Their accomplishment of persevering through a difficult moment, through a moment where they need to continue to get up every time they fall. That's exactly what our problems are. We are literally babies trying to learn how to walk every time we have an obstacle appear in our lives. So why, as adults, do we see the problem and then decide, oh, I'm just going to sit down. I'm just going to sit down because I can't do it. I'm not capable. I can't walk. I'm going to lose my balance. I'm going to fall. I'm probably going to hit something on the way down. It's going to hurt. And it's going to take too much time. It's going to be hard. I don't want to do it. Why do we grow up to be adults that do that? Meanwhile, a 1-year-old baby knows that every time they fall down, they're just going to get back up. Maybe he's going to hold on to the couch. Maybe he's going to use the wall to guide him. But sooner than later, that baby is going to run across the room all by themselves. When that baby fell the first time, they didn't think to themselves, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. No. It's in their instinctual nature to get back up because they already know that they are destined to run. They already know this. They don't have to have anybody tell them that they're capable of walking or running. They already know that this is their destiny, to walk, to run, to jump. So every time they fall and it hurts, maybe they cry. But they don't just stay back on the floor. They actually get back up and they try over and over and over again. And before you know it, you're going to have 2 parents chasing after a baby. But I say all of that to say that you do not give up in the face of a problem, in the face of an issue. You don't dare do that. Don't do that to yourself. Your freedom is on the other side of fear. You have to go through these problems with fear in order to get out on the other side with freedom. Think about all the limits that you're putting on your life. Think about all the constraints that you are telling yourself you deserve to live at. Think about all the limiting beliefs that you are feeding yourself. It's crazy because as adults, we can want something really bad and still tell ourselves all the reasons why we can't have it. Why it's too hard, why it's gonna take too much time, why we're comfortable where we're at right now. Don't settle for that. Don't settle for that. Why don't you deserve to live your life at 100% happiness? Why don't you deserve that? You are the only one keeping yourself from having it. And like I said, we can hire a coach, a doctor, a psychiatrist, a fitness trainer, a nutritionist, a priest. We can hire and attain all the necessary tools to get something done. But it is us. We are the most important moving part in order to get any solution handled. You can buy a baby a walking instructor, but if that baby has decided that walking is too scary, it is too hard, it hurts too much, that baby is already deciding that they are not capable. And this is all I have for you today. I'm wishing you a wonderful, wonderful day. I want you to know that you are fully capable of anything, really. I hope you really heard this message. And just remember that oftentimes, the things that are worth it are never easy. The things that are easy aren't worth it. May you remember who you are and never forget. I love you and I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.